Shalom Havarim. Hello friends, good to be with you. Many of you are aware that there is a large snow system coming through the eastern part of the country. So here in the Shenandoah Valley, many people are prepping. For instance, the other day I went to the grocery store to make sure we were all stocked up on the essentials. And I go in, I'm walking back toward the groceries, toward the vegetables, and I see a snowman in there. And I get a little closer, I realize this is my friend Frosty. And Frosty is going through the carrot section. He's grabbing the baby carrots, he's looking at those, he puts those back, he gets some of the larger carrots, checks those out, puts them back. He even goes through the fancy carrots, he gets the purple, the yellow, the off-colored carrots as well. And I finally go up to him and say, "Hey Frosty, what's up?" And he was like caught off guard to see me. He was a little embarrassed. He says, "Oh Kevin, you caught me. I was just picking my nose." Now, I am recording this message on Saturday morning because in the next 24 hours or so, we are expecting a large snow front to come through. We're expecting anywhere between, I think it's 0 and 30 inches of snow, right? You never know what to expect. And this is causing a lot of people some anxiety. People are scared. And I get that, especially here in the South. We simply don't have the equipment to handle snow like that. We don't have the infrastructure, the power lines are not built to handle this kind of stress. A lot of people don't have the experience driving in this kind of snow. So it can be unsettling. But I also realize that if you don't have to go anywhere, if you don't have to be at work, if you don't have to get out, if you don't have to feed the livestock, this can be a very special, beautiful, and peaceful time as well. You know what it's like if you've ever experienced it. I'm in a small town here, so when the snow falls like it does, we'll walk out in the morning and you just kind of experience this sense of peace. There's this beautiful blanket of snow that's covered the entire neighborhood. And you don't hear the noise of cars or you don't hear the traffic on the roads. It's just quiet, it's peaceful. The snow has deadened the sound because it absorbs the sound waves. It's quiet, it's peaceful. The neighbors are out, they're helping each other. There's something beautiful, beyond just beautiful to look at, but a beautiful experience when we have this kind of snowfall. So obviously snow is on my mind as we prepare for this large storm. And I'm thinking of a certain psalm. I'm thinking of Psalm 51, verse 7. And this is a psalm that was written by David. And this was at a real low point in David's life. He actually just had this guy named Uriah killed so that David could have Uriah's wife as his own. Like I said, this is a real low point in David's life. But David is feeling some remorse for this, and he calls out to God, asking for forgiveness. And he says in Psalm 51, verse 7, he says, "Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow." Now, many years ago, I had a chance to study with a guy named Brian Blunt at Union Presbyterian Seminary. And Brian was and is still a New Testament scholar, especially a scholar of the book of Revelation. And if you come to chapter 7 of Revelation, there's this scene where there's this multitude of people in heaven, and they're all wearing these white robes. And Brian, an African American, says we really need to be careful to not push that metaphor out too far, because he has seen instances where people have taken the idea of whiteness as being equated to good, and that means necessarily that blackness is bad. So he's saying that's not how this metaphor is meant to be understood. And it is indeed a metaphor. So what Brian does is he translates the word white differently. He uses what's called a dynamic equivalent. Not a literal word-for-word translation, but something that has the same meaning, the same concept as the word that was originally used in the Hebrew in this case, or in the New Testament in the Revelation in Greek. So Brian speaks of the multitudes in their robes, and he speaks of them as dazzling. The multitudes are wearing dazzling robes. And I like that image. So I come back to Psalm 51, verse 7, and I think about the properties of snow. What about snow makes me feel calm? What about that makes me feel peaceful? There's a certain stillness about the snow. There's something that's reflective about the snow. The sunlight just shines off it. It is indeed dazzling. So I thought, can we put this to the words of the psalm? Psalm 51, verse 7, cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be peaceful like snow. Wash me, and I will be still like the snow. Wash me, and I will be reflective. Cleanse me with hyssop. Wash me, and I will be dazzling like the snow. I like that. So my prayer for you today, may the grace and peace of God our Father abound as you seek to stay warm and safe during this storm. And may you know the stillness, the peacefulness, the reflective nature of the snow as we continue to be dazzled by the love of Jesus Christ. May it be so. Amen. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.